to Super Summer Camp!
My name is Ann Ronington. I'm the Education Coordinator for the Fairfax Office of DBVI, and I'd like to present some of my lovely helpers today. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Adela, and I'm 9 years old.
And who are you?
My name is Liv, and I like studying ridiculously long words.
That's an excellent way to pass your time. Okay, you guys, so Deli, can you show everybody what we are going to make today?
Sure. So today we are going to be making strawberry ice, and this is the strawberry ice that we made. And as you can see, it's kind of shaped in flowers because we used some molds to shape them. And here's a heart too.
So why are there only like 5 pieces?
Because we love them, so we ate them all.
Aha! So it would be important to mention that we are starting off with frozen strawberries, and we need to let those strawberries thaw. So in this bag we have frozen strawberries. What are frozen strawberries like?
Frozen strawberries are very, very cold. They're hard, and often in the bag they stick together because they're so frozen.
Yeah, and then what is this?
These are thawed strawberries, and this bag has thawed strawberries, which are kind of melted, and they're squishier.
Yeah, and are they cold anymore? Are they hard and cold?
They're tiny bit cold, but not a lot.
Yeah, and they're all liquidy because we let them thaw for, maybe it takes about an hour or two when we took them out of the freezer. So, before you can start, you need to thaw your strawberries. Very important step. Oh, wait, Veda, hold on. Wait, there's something really important. When we start cooking, what is it that we always have to do before we cook?
We have to wash our hands.
Ah, okay, everybody, go wash your hands. What is the first ingredient?
Frozen strawberry.
And how many frozen strawberries, or how much frozen strawberries?
About 3 cups of frozen strawberries.
Okay, 3, so that's 3 cups of frozen strawberries, and that translates to about 12 ounces. So you guys can weigh this, or you can just use a measuring cup. And then what comes next?
Next is my favorite ingredient, sugar.
Mmm. And how much sugar are we using today?
We're going to use 3 tablespoons of sugar.
Excellent. And what comes next?
Next, we'll use a lime.
Or a lemon.
Okay, or a lemon. Okay, and then what about these?
So these are the molds that you can use, or any really molds that you can use to shape your strawberry mixture. So
these are made of what?
These are made of silicone.
Yeah, and you guys can use ice trays. You don't need to use molds at all. You can just use bowls and it will come out perfectly fine. So any kind of container that you have that you can use to freeze these in. And then finally, lastly, what's the final ingredient? The final thing we need?
1 plastic Ziploc bag.
Excellent. And what's important about the Ziploc plastic bag?
You need to seal it.
Yeah, it's got to have a good seal. Otherwise, all the ingredients is going to be squishing out when we make it. So, okay. So we have our ingredients and our recipe on our large screen monitor, and we're using that as we go. So let's get started. Okay.
Strawberry.
Okay, so what's the trick here with the strawberries, you guys? What do we need to be careful about?
Keep them in the bag.
Keep them in.
Yeah, so when we hold up our Ziploc bag, you want to make sure you know where the edges are, and we're going to pour. We want the strawberries going in the bag. We don't want them going on the table, on the floor. So just make sure you know where those edges are. Can you feel around the bag, Adela?
Yes.
Feel around the bag. Do you feel how that feels?
Yes.
Okay, so do you know where you need to pour those strawberries?
Yep.
Because they're going to come slushing out. Okay, let's go. Excellent. We had no strawberry leakage. Here we have our strawberries in our Ziploc bag. Adela is going to show us how we're going to measure our sugar here. Oh, one thing. Hold on. Wait. Let's stop. What do we need underneath the sugar when we measure it?
A tray or a cup. And here's a quick tip from Liv.
When you measure the sugar, you can pour it over a container to not spill all over the floor and irritate your parents.
Why can't I just measure it over the breakfast bar or measure it over the floor?
Because you'll get it everywhere and it'll not be fun to hear what your parents have to say.
Okay. So you guys, just make sure when we're measuring sugar, we always measure it over something. So not over the floor, not over the breakfast bar. We measure it over a plate or a cup, anything that will let the extra sugar that you're pushing off when you level it fall into that cup. Okay, so what is next? What is next?
We added the sugar.
Okay, I'll give you the sugar. There it is. Okay.
We're going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar.
Okay. So, Liv, how do you know that you're not adding too much sugar?
We level it out with a knife.
Okay, so yeah, you guys can use a knife to level off the sugar. You want the knife to be flush with the tablespoon. Or what else could you use?
You could use your fingers.
You could use your finger now that we've washed our hands. Excellent. Okay, so we have 1. Okay, another one. We're going to do our 2nd tablespoon of sugar. And you guys can do this with 2 tablespoons. In the recipe, we wrote 3. If you want to reduce the sugar a little bit, it tastes great with 2 just as well. Okay, so she is leveling off the tablespoon of sugar. Okay, and let's do 1 more. There we go. And there you go, leveling it off. 3 tablespoons of sugar. All right, guys, what are we going to do next?
We add the lemon.
We do add the lemon. Who wants to
I'll add the lemon.
demonstrate how we can cut this lemon?
So, can I have the fork, please?
You may. So Miss Veda is going to be demonstrating how we can safely cut a lime or a lemon.
So, you might have to...
What are we doing first?
First, we're going to grab our fork.
It is a fork.
We are going to just stick it in. Try to stick it in or hold it in
Careful
place.
to not jab yourself. Carefully stick.
Then we're going to grab our knife.
Make sure and let's hold it with this hand. With one hand we'll hold the lemon or the lime, and then with the other one we're going to stick that, make sure it punctures into that lime. There we
Like
go.
that.
Just like that. So you can even hold it on the fork. And now what do we do, Adela?
Now we're going to start cutting it.
Aha, there you go. So Adela is basically, what is she doing? What is she doing?
She's using a butter knife to cut a lime.
She's stabilizing it with the fork. So she holds it with the fork and she cuts with a knife, and that's a good way to keep her fingers out of the way so she's not cutting them. It's a little bit tricky. You might have to get help from your parents on some of this, and some of you guys will be fine. There we go. Okay, so now what do we do with the lime juice?
We are going to add it into the bag.
Let's do it. So what are ways that we can squeeze a lime, guys?
You can use a lemon squeezer or your hand.
Or your hands. So we poured our mushy strawberries into the Ziploc bag. We added the sugar, the lime. Now what do?
We squeeze the air out of the bag and we seal it.
Yeah, so we've got a Ziploc bag with strawberries and it's got a bunch of air in it. We want to get that air out of it.
You can leave a little hole.
There you go. So she's deflating the bag so all the air comes out. There we go. We're getting all that air out of the bag, and we're going to check the seal. Why, Adela?
Because then it'll all the strawberries and all your mixture will pour out.
Right, check that seal on your Ziploc bag, and you can usually feel it. What does it feel like when it's sealed?
It is very tightly stuck together.
Yeah, and you can kind of feel it when it seals. You want to make sure you got a good tight feel. How's that seal?
Clicks.
Yeah, it kind of
onto
clicks. Yeah, so is it sealed from left to right? Okay, so we're going to check the seal. We're going to run our fingers from the left side of the bag all the way over across the seal to the right side of the bag. So from one side of the bag to the other to check that seal. How's that seal, Ada?
We're going to be using this tray so we don't get any strawberry liquid on your table or on the floor.
So does the tray what makes it a tray, Deli?
It's kind of round, so it protects the liquid not from going everywhere.
Yeah, just any kind of tray, anything you have that has edges that kind of come up, so it's going to keep, in case somebody didn't seal the bag well, it's going to keep everything inside the bag. So now is the fun part, you guys. Squeeze and mush the liquid in your sealed bag.
Okay, so we're mushing it up.
So after all of our mushing, we have a Ziploc bag full of liquidy strawberry, and that means that we are ready to pour it into the molds or into the bowls or whatever you guys have.
Okay, to make the pouring process easier, we're going to snip off at the tip of the bag.
So how do you find the tip of the bag?
You feel around for a little corner,
Okay.
pointy corner, and then you snip off a small section of that corner.
Yeah, so it's just the tiny little tip because we want to cut a small hole. So that means the mix will come pouring out more slowly if the hole is small, which is good. Aleda is pouring the strawberry mixture into the silicone molds perfectly, I might add, and making those strawberry hearts. Okay, we're getting a little bit more than we need, but we can clean it up afterwards and the molds will come out perfectly. Excellent job, Liv.
We have heart-shaped molds, silicone molds, so
That's what we're using. So we have our molds a little bit overfilled, but we're gonna clean that off and we're gonna stick it in the freezer. And we will see you back here in 4 to 8 hours to test out our final results.
yay!
We are back with the results of our strawberry ice. How's the strawberry ice?
It's great, good, delicious.
Now we have one thing left over to do. You guys, what's that? What are we gonna do once we're done eating?
Clean up.
What are we gonna clean up?
Clean up the kitchen.
Are we gonna wash?
The dishes.
Are we gonna put things back where we got them from?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, enjoy your strawberry ice.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.